Every year there is Black Monday, and it happens after week 17, where some coaches get fired for their lack of the team's success over the past year or through the entirety of their contract. We saw that happen this year with some teams, and some teams like the Redskins and Panthers even fired their head coaches before season's end. With all but one coaching spot being filled, that being the Browns of course, I think it's a good time to talk about the initial thoughts and reactions of each team's coaching hire. Before we get started though, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel, as all support is very much appreciated. Now with that being said, let's begin. The Panthers hired Matt Rule to be their next head coach, and I love this hire for a few reasons. Matt transformed the Baylor program from an abysmal 1-11 in 2017 to an 11-3 team in 2019 that should have been 12-2 had they not blown a huge lead to Oklahoma. However, Rule has proven he can transform a team and lead them from the ground up in only a few years, and for Carolina, who is a team with new ownership and potentially a new face of the franchise with the uncertainty of Cam Newton's future, this is a great hire. With the Bucs not having a double-digit win season since 2010 and only one since 2005, the Falcons, who had a late season push but were otherwise awful, and the Saints' uncertainty with Drew Brees and Teddy Bridgewater both potentially leaving this offseason, Matt Rule and the Panthers could take control of the NFC South early in his tenure. If the Panthers take a quarterback early in the draft or try and develop Will Grier or Kyle Allen, I like the potential for them to thrive under a team builder like Rule. I absolutely love this hire by Carolina, and for their team's sake, I'm glad they did not let him interview with the Giants, because I think he would have ended up going there rather than Carolina. The next head coaching hire we will discuss is the Giants' new head coach, Joe Judge. The Giants hired Pat Shurmur after he guided the Case Keenum-led Vikings offense to the 2017 NFC Championship game, and I loved the hire at the time, as I thought his success would translate. Well, it did not, and here we are 2 years later with a new head coaching hire. Joe Judge was a special teams coordinator, and although that may not be the sexy hire or splash hire the fans were hoping for, Judge brings a winning culture with him. This season alone, the Patriots ranked first in average starting field position, and opponents ranked last in starting field position, which for a team with a young quarterback in Daniel Jones, any little bit helps. He is a descendant of the Nick Saban, Bill Belichick coaching tree, and brings 3 Super Bowls and 2 national championships on his resume, and for a team that hasn't made a deep playoff run since the 2011 Super Bowl, this could be the hire they need. I like the winning culture and what they are going for in this hire. The key will be to bring in great assistants and let Judge do what he does best. By the way, if anyone did not know, another Super Bowl winning head coach was a former special teams coordinator, and he's had great success over the past 12 years, and that's Ravens head coach John Harbaugh. If the Giants can get anywhere near the success the Ravens have had over the past decade, this will certainly prove to be a great hire. Next up is the Redskins hire, which is Riverboat Ron Rivera. Honestly, for the first time in a while, I think the Redskins are on the right track, and this could be the start of, at minimum, a few playoff appearances for them in the next few years. They'll have Chase Young gifted to them at number 2 overall after the Bengals take Joe Burrow number 1, so with Ron Rivera and an elite defensive line, they are on the right track. Rivera is undoubtedly their best coaching hire in a while, and should get them to the postseason at least once, if not multiple times during his tenure. After letting assistants Kyle Shanahan and Sean McVay slip away from them, I think the Redskins finally got their guy, and a great coach at that. The final coach we'll discuss in depth in this video is new Cowboys coach Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy is the next Cowboys head coach, and honestly this may sound surprising, but I like this hire a lot. Dallas had to do something with the continued mediocrity that was Jason Garrett, and I'm glad they finally got rid of him. McCarthy takes a lot of criticism for how his tenure in Green Bay ended, but what a lot of people forget is he has the same amount of Super Bowl rings as Pete Carroll, Sean Payton, John Harbaugh, and Mike Tomlin, who are all looked at as great and well-respected coaches. McCarthy helped guide the Packers to a Super Bowl title and 3 conference championship game appearances. I think the year away from football will prove to have really helped him, and he will guide the Cowboys back to the postseason in 2020 and beyond. Anyway, that's all I have for today's video. I hope you enjoyed, and if you're still watching, I appreciate the support, and if the audio does not sound great today, I have a little bit of a cold and don't feel the best, so if you're still around, as always, the support is greatly appreciated in growing the channel, and I want you to have a great rest of your day. Skol Vikes.